Yamsayo, all my beautiful people. How are you doing today? Welcome to the Alternate Point of View. My name is Tracy Lee, and you have now entered this channel. Thank you so much, everyone who has joined this channel. Thank you, anyone who is watching this channel and has not subscribed. I highly suggest you subscribe and hit that like button and the notification bell. I have heard a lot of my subscribers are not getting their notifications, so please double check that you have hit the notification bell because you will not get notifications if you don't. And if you are not subscribed, which 92% of my watchers are not subscribed, so please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. I am branching out into some other content besides just trials and crime. Well, it is crime related, I guess, but I am the alternate point of view. So we are going to be talking about things that are the alternate point of view. So again, I am Tracy Lee. Welcome to my OGs and a welcome to my members. I can say members now, plural. I have Gwen, who is a member, and I have Lindsay Renee, who is a member. So let's keep it coming, you guys. So today we are going to talk about Luigi, and I want to say Luigi because that is Luigi from the video game. Oh dang, it just flew out of my head. Oh my gosh, from the video game where they jump over mushrooms and stuff. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that just flew out of my head. But anyway, Mario, Super Mario, Luigi, yes. But this Luigi is a little different, a lot different actually, from the one that just jumped over mushrooms and fell off of walls and, what have you. But this Luigi actually is some sort of a cult hero. What? I can't believe it. So let's talk about Luigi and what he did. And first of all, I want to say, let's take a moment to think about the children. We don't know how many so far, possibly up to 5, at least 5, including the pew-pewer that hit a Christian school in Madison, Wisconsin earlier today, taking out several children. We don't know all the details yet. We just know that children have lost their lives. We don't know any details about the pew-pewer. So I want to take a moment to think about these children and their families and pray that we find out what happened and why this is continuing in this country and why our country is obviously the number one country for these school mass situations that are happening in this world. And I hope that we can find a solution. And this really ties in to, Lord, let's just help these families get through this moment. And let's just pray for these families and their children and pray that our country can find a way besides just drills and training. And Lord, let's just pray that we can put our hands on these families and these schools in our country. And I pray that we can find a way to stop this madness. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Lord, everyone, I know that the way this ties into what we're going to talk about today, which is Luigi and what happened to the CEO of United Healthcare, is because he has become some sort of basically some type of god, really. If you look at the things that are on the internet about him, he's even been made into a candle that is like a sort of Jesus candle. He has the entire garb on that people are making him out to be saint, basically Saint Luigi. And they're glorifying him taking someone's life due to the reason that he took this person's life. Yet, they're going to kick and scream about what happened to these children in this school in Madison, Wisconsin, which is really, really bad. It doesn't matter if, what the reasoning is behind why he did what he did, if it is in fact him, because we are looking at many pictures of what this person looked like, the brow, all of the things, and how convenient it is that he was caught the way he was. I don't know if it's him. We do have a system in this country of innocent until proven guilty. So we don't have all the details. There are a lot of things that came up in his supposed manifesto. It's kind of strange that his manifesto was released so quickly, and we're still waiting for the manifesto from the Nashville pew pewer in Nashville, Tennessee, who did what they did when at that school there. And again, today we have another situation at a Christian school in Madison, Wisconsin. So again, I'm not really sure what's going on, but as we know, there will be more cries for, things to stop with, control on the Second Amendment due to this situation happening today. But there will be no cries. There are no cries for this to happen due to who was taken out in New York City due to the kind of job he had, where he worked. And I think that that is a double standard. I don't think it's fair that everyone's celebrating someone's demise because of who he was and where he worked. When it comes to children, which is horrific, people are going to kick and scream and go nuts because these were children, of course, and it's horrific. It's absolutely sad. But Luigi is going to get a pass, or he's getting a pass. He's being praised on the internet, on X, on TikTok, on Facebook, everywhere. Because if he did it, allegedly, then due to the job that Brian Thompson had, he's being praised for what he did and allegedly did. So I just want to go over some things that I'm seeing on X and share with you some of the things that are being said about Luigi. And I just find it strange because we are being told some things. People are making him sound like a hero. And I find it odd. So I want to respond to some of the things that people are saying about him. I don't know if you can see a lot of these things that are being said about him, obviously, but people are saying that they're giving the reviews to McDonald's 1-star reviews. They're saying that McDonald's is full of rats. They are showing pictures of the terrible pictures of the CEO. They're showing pictures of Luigi. There's an interesting picture here of Luigi that someone showed about his eyebrows. The eyebrows did not match, or it could have been a doctored picture. I'm not sure. But his manifesto was already out that says to the feds, which is strange. I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country, which is kind of strange that he would say that. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial, some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the US has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the largest company in the US by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but as our life expectancy, no, the reality is these have simply gotten too powerful, and they have continued to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex. Pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed, Rosenthal more decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it, and with such brutal honesty. I think that he's not the first to face it with such brutal honesty. I just think that he's the first to actually go take someone's life for it. Um, so A person posted that price of 1 month of Humalog insulin in Texas out of pocket, by the way. This person pays $649.99. So is everyone aware that a CEO is scheduled to testify at Nancy Pelosi's hearing regarding her insider trading? I hope everyone understands that, this, once people are politicians, so this is a photo here that of the person that they showed with the eyebrows. So they're showing that the eyebrows are different. But again, I don't know if these pictures are doctored, so I can't say for certain. Um, so also, I have questions about the bike, the e-bike that he rode. So the e-bikes that people ride on the street, they have to use a credit card. So I'm just curious, what credit card did he use to use the e-bike? Um, Also, it wasn't the McDonald's worker that found him. It was a customer that went up to the McDonald's worker that said, "Hey, there's something strange about this guy. He looks kind of familiar." So, of course, the McDonald's worker did call it in, but it was a customer and it wasn't the worker. So, a lot of people are talking smack about the worker. Um, so, again, like people are saying, they put this manifesto out in New York 2nd, but we couldn't see the manifesto from the person that took out all those children and teachers in this Christian school in Tennessee. So again, I said that earlier. I think that's kind of strange. Some people are already getting tattoos of this guy. It's really, really odd that they are praising him the way that they are. Um, so I find it strange that he supposedly started out this manifesto to the feds. I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. Um, I just think it's weird that his manifesto supposedly started out that way. I also find it odd that, part of his manifesto was talking about his mom. If you recall in other people's videos, they have said that his manifesto was talking about his mother's pain. It wasn't really talking about his pain. He did mention his back pain at the very end of his manifesto. Um, so they're talking about him as if he's a hero. Um, and they're saying that, what he did has put a highlight on how corrupt the, you know, the healthcare industry is and how profitable that they are. I mean, United Healthcare is is one of the most profitable healthcare industries in the country. It's in the top 5 on the Forbes list. And if you don't know, the other healthcare companies that were about to roll out a program where they were going to stop paying for anesthesia through the entire surgery, which just kind of doesn't make sense because you do need anesthesia. I have received myself bills from insurance companies that said, hey, by the way, you owe us money for your anesthesia, which is kind of strange because I needed the anesthesia. So why am I now having to pay for my anesthesia? Also, just in case you guys didn't know, I wanted to tell you a story about why healthcare companies are becoming profitable organizations. This all came about. It's been going on for decades. It's not like this is something new, but I wanted to explain to you the Affordable Care Act is not affordable. I urge you all, if you haven't before, but you will get inundated with calls from multiple telemarketers when you do this. If you go to healthcare.gov, you will, if you put in, you make zero money. If you are a low income person, you make no money, you need healthcare, go to healthcare.gov and try to get healthcare. Because I promise you, if you say you make zero money and you go on healthcare.gov, your zero income, you will have to pay $800 to $900 a month for insurance, and you will have an $8,000 to $9,000 deductible on healthcare.gov. Yes, that is what they think you can afford at $0 a month income. And also, you're keeping your own doctor does not happen. That doesn't happen. It's a give and take. You might be able to keep your own doctor, but you won't get to get your medications. you may be able to get your medications, but you won't be able to keep your doctor. And also, I can tell you a story about when before healthcare.gov came out, before the Affordable Care Act was being passed, I used to see my doctor back home in Alabama. And my doctor was telling me, he was a private practice doctor, and he was telling me he was going to try to stay in private practice as long as he could. And the reason why he wasn't going to be able to stay in private practice very long was because all doctors were going to have to be affiliated with a hospital. Cardiologists, private practice doctors, neurologist, everybody was going to have to go towards a hospital. Why? Because otherwise they're not going to get paid. Because of the Affordable Care Act, if they weren't affiliated with a hospital and they were just private doctors, because, when you go to a hospital, right, and you need a heart surgery, they could call a heart doctor, because heart doctors, cardiology doctors, cancer doctors, neurologists, they were all kind of on their own. And you could choose which doctor you wanted to go to. You could go to a heart doctor. You could go to a neurologist. You could go wherever you wanted to go. You could choose your doctor. But when it came to the Affordable Care Act, they all had to be affiliated with like a Baylor Scott and White, an Ascension, a St. David's, or some kind of hospital they had to be affiliated with, or else they won't get paid by the insurance company, because insurance companies are now partnered with a certain hospital. So in order for those doctors to get paid, they had to partner with a hospital. So my doctor said, I can stay in private practice and I can get paid to see 40 patients an hour, or I can affiliate myself with a hospital and I can get paid to see 10 patients an hour and get paid the same amount. That's why doctors are going to hospitals and be affiliated with hospitals, because otherwise they don't get paid. And also, that's why there's a shortage of doctors. That's why it takes 6 months to see a neurologist now. Before, you could make an appointment with your neurologist and you could see your neurologist pretty quickly, and not wait 6 months. But now, so they're affiliated with a hospital, it takes months and months and months to get a doctor's appointment with a neurologist. Also, you can't just go see a neurologist. Before Affordable Care Act, you could just call a neurologist office and say, I need to see a neurologist. But now you have to have a referral. And if you don't have a referral, you can't see that neurologist. Even with a referral, you have to wait 6 to 8 months, sometimes a year, to see a neurologist. By then, you could die. So you can't just go see a foot doctor. You can't just go see a cardiologist. You can't just go see a neurologist. You can't just go see a neck doctor, a pain management doctor. You can't do any of that without a referral from your primary doctor. And basically, your primary doctor doesn't do anything for you. They can't prescribe you any type of medications anymore. They can't do any of those things without a referral to go see another doctor. So used to, I could go to my primary doctor and he would give me all the medications I needed for anything that was wrong with me. I used to be able to call my primary doctor and say, hey, I am sick. I think I have a cold or the flu or whatever. And he would just call me in a Z-Pack, and I could just go in and get my steroid shot and a Z-Pack or whatever and be out the door in no time flat, because God forbid they didn't want you to have sit in their waiting room with a cold and get other people sick. So they didn't want to deal with that. They would just give you a Z-Pack and a steroid shot and you'd be on your way. But nope, now you can't do that. Now you have to be referred to a different doctor to get all that. And if you're lucky, your primary doctor will give you antibiotics. And now you can't get cough medicine or anything from your primary doctor. You have to be referred to a different doctor. By then, like this last time I got the flu, I had to be referred to another doctor in order to get medication. By the time I was able to get medication, I ended up with pneumonia. So, yeah, this is how it works. You could die by the time you get to go see another doctor. So, also, your insurance will not pay for your medications that you need, because you have to have prior authorizations. Before, the prior authorization thing wasn't so bad. It wasn't as bad as it is now. Now I have to go to the manufacturer, the actual company that makes the drug, and get a coupon from them in order to pay for my medication that I actually need, because I have to have a prior authorization. And that doesn't happen. That you don't get the prior authorization. For pain patches, I have to get a prior authorization, which I have yet to receive, and I will not receive it. So, because of that, I have to deal with the pain. So, thanks to the insurance company, I don't get the medications that I need. I don't get the proper seizure medication that I need. I don't get anything that I need because they don't think I need it. And that leads me into Brian Thompson. So let's talk about CEOs of companies. Now, a lot of the news outlets, and you got to take this with a grain of salt. Brian Thompson, they were saying on the news, which I take the news as a bunch of garbly garb, because the news is not real. It's not true. It doesn't tell you the truth. That's why I'm not sure if Luigi actually allegedly did these things, because it's too clean. It's too easy. I don't know. And his manifesto just seems kind of too easy. It just seems a little too neat. He's a very smart guy. He comes from a very rich family. His family even owns golf courses. They own, they're like a Trump family. And part of them are in the healthcare industry. So I find it kind of weird that he would be the one to take out the United Healthcare CEO when, according to the media, not really sure, he didn't even have United Healthcare. So I'm not very sure about his involvement with United Healthcare or what. So let's talk about Brian Thompson and how the news media makes him out to be some sort of revolutionary CEO. Well, I used to work for a very large corporation, and CEOs are not hired because they're going to come in and revolutionize and not make money for the company. CEOs are hired to make money for the company. They're hired to profit. That's what they're hired for. And if they don't profit, then they are fired and they're replaced with a new CEO. Kind of like college football, right? College football coaches are hired to win championships. And if you don't win championships, then you get fired and replaced with another coach. That's the SEC, which is what I love. I'm an Auburn fan, and Auburn coaches are there for about 2 years, and you maybe get 3. And if you don't win, you're gone. So, we have Hugh Freeze as our coach at Auburn. They're going to give Hugh maybe a couple more years. And if he doesn't start bringing in some wins, he's going to go away. If you look at the history of Auburn football coaches, they last about 3 years before they get bought out, and they're on their good way. Okay. And we're all on board with them. The first year we're like, yes, we love Coach Hugh Freeze. We love Hugh. We want Hugh. We're on board. And then as soon as Hugh doesn't start winning, if he doesn't bring us a winning season next year, then they're already going to talk about getting rid of him by the 3rd year. And we're going to be looking for us a new coach. And that's how the SEC works. Okay. That's how Auburn works. I can tell you that right now. So Hugh better get off his butt. He better get off that monotone talk at the end of each game, and he better start winning. Otherwise, Hugh's out the door. So let's talk about Brian Thompson and how Brian Thompson came in 2021. He was only 50 when he passed away. Okay. He was a very young CEO. So he came in with some very, very good ideas, clearly, because he profited at United Healthcare and put United Healthcare in the top 5 of Forbes. United Healthcare went from profiting at $12 billion to $16 billion. Brian Thompson went from making less than $9 million a year to over $10 million a year. So Brian Thompson wasn't revolutionizing or coming in and saying, we need to think about the patients and the customers. No, Brian Thompson came in and said, we need to figure out a way to make us some more money, in which he did. Brian Thompson came in and revolutionized United Healthcare with AI. He came in and said, we'll just let AI decide whether or not they need these services. Brian Thompson came in and said, you know what? We will figure out a way to deny more claims than we approve, and that will make us more money. Because guess what? People are paying their premiums and they're getting nothing in return. So we're just having people dump money into the company and they're not getting anything in return for it. And that is what Brian Thompson was doing. He was on his way to a shareholder meeting that day. And the shareholders continued to have their meeting while Brian Thompson is laying on the sidewalk. That's how much companies care about you. That's how much CEOs, shareholders, big core, that's how much they care about their people. Is that person was lying on the sidewalk with 2 bullets in his body and he was bleeding on the sidewalk while the shareholders are still having their meeting, because that's how much they care about you. They don't give two craps about the CEO even. And then you have the news media out there talking about, well, where was his security? First of all, he's a regular person. He just makes a lot of money. And his wife's response was, well, he was getting some threats and it was probably due to, people's lack of coverage. That was her response, y'all. Never mind that he was the father of her 2 children. Never mind that he was her husband. She didn't come out crying and was all upset about it. No, she knew what her husband did for a living. And she knew that this was going to have to do with the fact that he was denying a lot of people's health care, because they're covered, they're fine, but their customers were not fine. So again, we don't need to celebrate someone's demise. We need to understand that he was a human being, but he did a job and he was hired to do a certain job, and that job was to make money. And that's what he did. Does this put a highlight on the healthcare industry? Yes. Did this get the point across? I mean, it has hit a button on people. It has sparked debate and conversation for sure. Will it change anything? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to change a thing. I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think it will temporarily. As you know, Blue Cross Blue Shield has already backpedaled on their anesthesia situation, but it's not going to change anything. Like I said, I just had a prescription that I had to go get, and I still had to go through the pharmaceutical company in order for me to get my medication, because I had to have a prior authorization. That medication was $1,000. $1,000. I couldn't get it. So I had to go get a discount card from the company in order for me to get my medication. And I still can't get another medication because my insurance company won't pay for it. So when you say that this has caused an uproar, it has. Has it caused an nonsensical, some sort of weird praise of a person that doesn't deserve it? Yes. What's weird to me is that Democrats are still whining and calling names and saying terrible things about Donald Trump winning the election, but yet they're also praising someone who took someone's life because they're upset about their health care. I feel like we can be upset about our health care and get the point across without praising someone who took someone's life. I feel like if you want to protest about something, maybe protest properly about your health care. I had a conversation with someone that I work with who is very young, who's clearly still living with his parents and still is living off of their insurance. So he doesn't understand, when I told him that my insurance would cost me $800 to $900 a month on the very little money that I make working part-time, because I'm trying to build this YouTube channel and earn more money at home because I have epilepsy. So it's really hard for me. I can't drive. And he says, oh, $800 to $900 a month. That's good. I'm like, what? You still live with your parents and you don't have to pay for insurance. So what now? Do you even know what you're talking about? No, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I have 30 years on this kid. And he's going to tell me $800 to $900 a month is good. That's okay. Um, so my point is, we shouldn't be praising the demise of someone thinking that's going to make a change. It's not going to make a change. And people who are out there getting Luigi tattooed on their body is definitely not going to make a change. And if we are out there praising the death of someone when they think it's going to cause this ripple effect. And here there are CEOs of other healthcare companies that are looking at protection for their, lives. I don't think that if you think you need protection for your life because you work for a healthcare company, then you clearly know that there's something wrong with what your job is. So, who's the vigilante? Who's the villain? Is there a vigilante? Is there a villain? Obviously, whoever did this, if it is Luigi, he needs to answer for what he did. You should never praise someone who took someone's life. But I just think there is a bit of irony here. There is a bit of go, it's good for thee, but not for me kind of situation here. The news is about to be flooded with this mass situation that happened in Wisconsin, and it's a double-edged sword. Okay, they're gonna go all in on this situation that happened in Wisconsin and talk about gun rights, gun control, all of this stuff. But then at the same time, out of the other side of their mouth, they're going to be talking about, Luigi is a hero. And they even said on the news that they took joy in the loss of someone's life because he worked for a healthcare company. What? There is something severely wrong with people in their minds if you think that that is something to celebrate. That is not something to celebrate. If that is okay to celebrate, then I don't understand what's happening in our clown world. This is a topsy-turvy, upside-down world right now, and we have some issues here. We have some serious mental health issues that we need to take care of. So I believe that that if this person did this, from what I understand, he was valedictorian. He went to private school. He went to an Ivy League college. He comes from a very rich family. He had back issues of his own, according to his manifesto. He was talking about his mom's pain, the pain that she was in, the suffering that she went through. He barely touched on his own pain. So I'm not really sure what is going on or what the conversation is, or if it was even him. Again, those e-bikes, the scooters, anything that they use, they have to use a credit card. He did, according to the FBI or whoever caught him, had different IDs on him, had this ghost gun, which is a very big buzzword with the FBI and the media and the people in this country that they are trying to get rid of. They said it was a 3D imprinted gun. A lot of people said this was a professional hit job. I will tell you, it did not look professional. Because if it was professional, he would have just gotten one hit to the dome and it would have been done. Also, he was not caught with the same very distinctive backpack that this person was wearing. I don't know where he could have obviously dumped the backpack somewhere, but if they found the water bottle, the protein bar, the they found him in Starbucks. They've had all of these pictures. It was so professional. I feel like he wouldn't have been on all these different cameras. I feel like he wouldn't have been caught buying something at Starbucks. I feel like he wouldn't have used a credit card. Where is the credit card that he used for the e-bike? There's so many loopholes that he did and so many mistakes that he made that I'm just curious. Where are all of these things? No one's talking about the credit card that he used to use the e-bike. Whose credit card was it? How did he get from point A to point B? What bus did he take? Did he take a train? Did he take a bus? I mean, I'm just curious. I have questions. I have a lot of questions about how Luigi Mangione got from point A to point B. And apparently his last known address was Hawaii. but he stopped posting on social media this past summer. His family was looking for him. They filed a missing persons report in November. Um, a lot of his friends said that he was vacationing and touring Asia, but his last known address was in Hawaii. I'm just curious. Like, there's a lot more questions I have than answers. And I think a lot of people are putting a lot of stuff out there that's just white noise. So I have questions. He's still in Pennsylvania. He's hired a new attorney in New York who is not going to fight his extradition, but he does have an attorney in Pennsylvania. So I don't know. I don't know. Is it all too neat? Is this um, something that is made up? Is he a patsy? Is he the real person? It's kind of like the Brian Kohlberger situation. The eyebrows, they're just going off the brows. Is he the person? It's kind of too convenient. But again, you are innocent until proven guilty in this country. And I think the hype is a little too hype. Also, I feel like, you know, they're saying that he was reading the Ted Kaczynski manifesto, the Unabomber. They say he was reading some books that were questionable, and they find it kind of strange. Also, again, every time they catch someone like this, they're always like, oh, the FBI was monitoring this person for a long time. Why is it always the FBI has been monitoring this person, or they knew about their stuff posting on social media? Because let me tell you, I say this all the time on my channel. I'm probably on some sort of watch list because my gosh, I have this channel and I'm looking up stuff all the time because I'm interested. I want to know. I need answers. So yeah, I'm probably on some type of watch list. The FBI is probably watching me because I've got questions. I look stuff up all the time. I want to know because I'm interested in what people are talking about. I look things up because I'm talking about crime. I'm talking about these crazy things. So if they looked at my computer, if they looked at my phone, they'd probably be like, what the heck is this woman looking at this stuff for? And it's because it's pertinent to my channel. Okay. That's what it's for. But if they're talking about people who are reading Mein Kampf, or they're talking about people that are reading the Unabomber's manifesto, it's not because they love Hitler or they love the Unabomber. I can just tell you this: the Unabomber, he was kind of right. He wasn't wrong, y'all. He was not wrong. He was talking about communications, and he predicted things that actually are happening right now. Okay. Social media is the downfall, it's the devil. Look at what's happening right now with Luigi and how many people are on his side and how many people are praising him. It's insane. But look what's happening. The Unabomber was not wrong, right? I'm just saying he wasn't wrong. And Hitler, that guy was a lunatic, but hey, there's some things that he wasn't wrong about. So I'm not saying that he was the best person in the world, but there are some things that he kind of was he was kind of on point about. So just because you read those kind of books, it's not because you're like, ooh, I want to be that. No, it's because you're just kind of trying to educate yourself on what made this person think that way. What drove this person to be that way? It's not because you want to be like that. It's because you're trying to educate yourself on what the heck, you know? Like, why did George Washington supposedly never tell a lie? When you go on the tours of history, you go on those tours because you are trying to learn about history, not because you're like, ooh, I want to be like that. No, you're just trying to learn about history. How did these things happen? Why did they do this? So I'm just saying. And Luigi Mangione will forever be a part of history. Whether we like it or not, he'll forever be a part of history. And all of these people who are doing these things at schools, they'll forever be a part of history for whatever reason. We'll never know why the Tennessee one was because, that one will never be released, I guess. But, we'll never know why Nancy Pelosi decided to do insider trading and never get caught for it because, We'll just know her as, Nancy Pelosi, who everybody seems to adore and love for whatever reason, because, you know, no one wants to talk about her insider trading. And now, she broke her hip. I work with old people, you guys. So that's the first thing that happens once they start breaking stuff. Then they just go downhill from there. Not saying that I'm, really excited about that or anything. I'm just saying they just go downhill from there. We don't want to celebrate anyone like that, something bad happens to them. We're just saying that they just go downhill from there. Like not Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, who has seizures all the time live on television. That's what's happening to him. I know because I have them. And my neurologist watches it and he says that he's having them. But that's why we need term limits. Term limits are very, very important. We need to get rid of these old people. Yes. So that is my thoughts on Luigi. And everyone, please stop praising him and let the judicial system do its job. And, let's remember that someone lost their life. And maybe Brian Thompson wasn't the best person in the world. I mean, he was a CEO, and that's what CEOs' jobs are, is to make money for their company. And he did an amazing job for his company. Okay. Also, he and his wife are living separately. Just so you know, he had a home that cost tons of money where he lived. And he also had a place in New York. He and his wife are living separately. So maybe that's why she wasn't so like boo-hoo-hoo that he passed away. But she's also being very private. She has kids to worry about. So let's have a little empathy and sympathy for this family. He was a son, he was a father, he was a husband. So let's not celebrate the passing of someone, okay? I think people need to get their heads screwed on right. And let's pray for those people who are being very unsympathetic and being very rude and disrespectful for the loss of someone's life. And I think this tells you a little bit about where people's heads are at. And this explains a little bit more about how we need more Jesus. And yeah, that's my thoughts on what's going on with that. We need to stop praising people because you wouldn't praise people who, like the Idaho 4, we're not praising the person who took their lives because they were just college kids who were in their house sleeping. We're not praising that. So let's get it together, folks. And let's get our heads on right. We're not praising people for taking someone's life. Let's remember someone lost their life, and we need to pray, and we need to get more Jesus, and we need to understand that that is one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not kill. Okay? Whether we think the person is a good person or not is not our decision to make. That is for God to do. So let's pray for Luigi. If, for whatever he did or didn't do, let's pray that he gets right with God. And let's pray for Brian Thompson's family because it is not their doing. Did they reap the benefits? Yes, but they didn't work for the company. Brian Thompson did, and he didn't deserve to be gunned down in the street the way he was. No one deserves that. It doesn't matter what they do for a living. No one deserves that. And I hope that he knew Jesus before he passed away. And again, whatever your choices are in life, it is between you and the Lord at the end of the day. So it is not for us to decide. So I pray for everyone out there to just remember and respect one another as individuals and understand that whatever your decisions are, that it is between you and God. And I hope and pray that each and every person out there will find God and just pray. And man, I just hope everyone finds God. And if you want to find God and you want to read the Bible, go to my friend's channel, who is a member of mine, and read the Bible with Gwen. She has a channel, Reading the Bible with Gwen, and check her channel out, please. And check out my other friend's channel, Thou Shalt Not Kill, the Sixth Commandment. And understand that we need to do better as a human race and stop the hate, please. I appreciate everyone who's watched this video. If you've got here till the end, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell, because if you aren't hitting that notification bell, you're not going to get the notifications. So make sure you've hit the bell. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you. I have some exclusive videos coming out soon. And if you are not a member, you will not get to see them first. So get ready, become a member. There are some special videos, really, really exclusive interviews coming out this week on the alternate point of view. So please become a member and hit that notification bell. 감사합니다. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all.